Well, Josh was saying before this, he wished he could wear a T-shirt once.
Yeah, and never have to wear it again. Like, I want there to be a resale market.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Do you get this at all? Like, worried that people will recognize a shirt that you've worn before if you wear it twice?
At work, I do.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't notice when you could be wearing the same thing the exact, like, next day, and I wouldn't notice. I never notice it about other people.
I try to rock a graphic tee when we're recording, and I don't think I've done the Rocky Point one.
I think I have exactly 10 graphic tees.
Well, there's 11 episodes, so you're in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do next time. You guys like graphic tees, though?
For podcast recording, I do. Oh, my God. How did I lead you in so well and not even know this? Oh! What? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Do you like
Josh, this is the sweetest. First of all, you're completely teabagging Ross because he didn't give us gifts like this.
No gifts?
No, there were gifts, actually. I got him a gift.
Oh, yeah, at the end of the show.
Gift, but
I didn't get you a gift.
Do you like it?
I love it. Thank you.
I'm incredible that it showed up
Josh
today.
has been good enough, for those who are not also watching this on YouTube, Josh has been good enough to give us the first edition Machete Order t-shirts. I'm going to have to completely change my Renaissance Fair outfit now. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm glad you like it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Heavy
You're the
cotton.
best.
Love
you
you.
are.
100% American cotton.
Welcome to Machete Order, the podcast about the shows that everybody still talks about, but nobody still watches. I'm S.J. Pederuti.
And I'm Maxine Philibong.
And our special guest,
Josh Burns.
This season, we're watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All those shops gone. The Gap, Starbucks, Toys R Us. Who will remember all those landmarks unless we tell the world of them?
We have a lot of work ahead of us.
Can I push him in? You've got my vote. I just want to sleep, yo, for like a week.
I guess we all could if we wanted to.
Yeah. The first is scrunch, so what do you think we should do, Buffy?
Welcome back to Machete Order.
Welcome back to Machete Order.
This is the last episode before we get into the call-in episode, but
Please call in. Oh my God. This is going to be so embarrassing. Wouldn't it be funny if our next episode, like the call-in episode, we had nothing?
Just dead air.
Just dead air.
And now to our next caller. There's no next caller.
well, you have the cricket sound effect though, so we can always
no,
play
it's
that.
muted. No, thank God.
Please don't let us hear that.
Wasn't that fun?
At the next episode.
This has been a season-long feud that I've had with the soundboard. You guys loving it, going for the buttons, and me just going.
Oh no, I don't like it.
You just did it. Am I going crazy?
I love it.
SJ loves it. It's off most of the time.
Yeah, not enough of the time.
Well, I am sad because there are no more Buffy episodes to watch. That's actually not true. There are plenty more that I plan on watching.
114 episodes.
Yeah, there we go.
That we
left.
didn't watch?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
We cut it down to 30.
I don't know about the format of the show. Whoever thought about this format wasn't thinking about shows he hadn't watched before.
Right?
Because I do feel like we left a lot on the bone of other Buffy episodes that I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, SJ.
Yeah.
You try cutting down 144 episodes to 30.
Oh, I plan on it. Just wait till next season.
Okay.
Oh, yeah? You're doing Stargate SG-1? There's 200 episodes of that, you know?
No, that one is not one that I have seen, but
Yeah.
maybe you'll come back in for a rotation as the
I'm
host.
not doing that shit.
The spirit of the format is, I think, strong because I do feel like I've watched Buffy. Like
Good.
if it
Good.
came up culturally, I would get certain references. I have opinions on characters and directions that the show went that I would have maybe taken in a different place.
Yep.
But I also feel like there's a lot more that I wish I could have seen, especially the episodes about Buffy dying and then coming back again.
Yeah.
Which obviously we are going to get to in this particular installment.
First hit's free, baby. Keep them coming back for more. Leave them wanting.
But no,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
been great.
obviously with like 145 episodes, there are a lot of storylines we had to cut, and there is no way. And the thing about this series too is that the Monster of the Week thing and it being 7 seasons long with 22 episodes per season, a lot of storylines are going to get dropped. And I
Yeah.
think, not to toot me and Josh's own horn, but to toot me and Josh's own horn, we did a pretty good job at picking a storyline and going with it.
Yeah, we can get into this more with the wrap up and everything. I'll say that I was very happy with our list going into, on paper, I thought our list looked really good. Looking back at it, I think there are a couple episodes that we could have cut, a couple episodes that we could have included. But yeah, it's like there's things I could have changed. And I'm interested in the wrap-up episode. I think will be a great time for us to talk about, like, what did you think we should have cut? What are you happy that we include? All that kind of stuff.
And if the listeners at home also had opinions about what... I almost got that clean.
Sorry. The brim of my hat just hit the
what we could have cut, what we should have added, you can give us a call.
Please.
At 617-982-3098.
What's that number again? Maybe just with one of you?
How about with all three of us? We all go one number at a time.
My show. No.
This is why we only have hosts on for one installment.
What if we did every other number? Okay, ready? Me first. 6.
What are we doing?
Josh, get your head in the game.
9828.
1.
617-982-3098. Call in. Tell us your thoughts.
No sailed your ass. Yes, please call in, and if you think we didn't do a good job, berate us for an hour and a half. We'll have you on the show, please.
Or just share your opinions about Buffy. You don't have to do an ad hominem attack. You could just express how much you appreciate the show.
And us.
And us, maybe, if you were so inclined. Or maybe we were able to help you introduce the show to somebody that you know, which is the ultimate purpose of the podcast. Yes. Maxine's podcast, as she has so very pointedly stated.
She just rolled up her sleeves as you said that. She was about to sock you.
Tattoos out. I'm ready to go.
Whose podcast is it, wise guy?
Speaking of who belongs to whom, we're going to get into the last 3 episodes of this. We had Season 5, Episode 21.
The Weight of the World.
Season 5, Episode 22.
The Gift.
And Season 7, Episode 22.
Chosen. Wow.
You guys.
Almost like we rehearsed it.
We did that so much better than the number.
There are characters, as we came to the final couple of seasons of this show, that I was just so surprised had hung around as long as they did. I don't know if it was a contract issue or what, but for Spike to be the main romantic vein at the end of all of this, I found I love Spike.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. And I don't know if...
and it shouldn't have worked.
I don't know if David Boreanaz was like too expensive to bring him in.
David Boreanaz was doing his own adventure on Angel. That's why they couldn't like keep him around for all of Buffy, because he got a better contract with a different TV
Which
show.
Which is funny because Angel spoilers, but Spike is in the last season of that too.
Wow.
People just can't get enough of Spike.
I loved him in a smaller dose. I don't think I'm with you. The chemistry isn't there for the final season.
Yeah.
And I really hate that Spike got such a redemption arc after what he did to Buffy for the last 2 seasons. Like, he's a really shitty guy. We saw Buffy Bot in these 3 episodes. And for viewers at home that don't know.
References to Buffy Bot.
Yeah. So there's a scene where Xander is in the basement, takes a cloth off of an object, turns out to be the Buffy Bot. The Buffy Bot was in season 5?
Yes.
Season 5?
Season 5 is episode 14.
So the point of that robot
18.
was Spike made it to be a sex bot.
Oh, it really was?
Yes.
Yep, because he was obsessed with Buffy and decided to make a robot because she would not love him.
Well, that robot kind of kicks ass, too. I mean, it's...
Yeah. I mean, it has redemption in a way that's like, it can be a replacement for Buffy to defeat Glory, as we'll get into. But, Spike does a lot of that shit where he's, abusive, he assaults Buffy, and yet he gets a redemption arc. And he just shouldn't have been in this series for that long. It's like they're apologizing for his shitty behavior.
It's like they're apologizing for the fact that they wrote Angel off, and they
Yeah.
did that in season 2, and then went 5 more seasons without a compelling male counterpart to Buffy.
Yeah.
And I think the show felt a lot like it was spinning without a gravitational force to keep it grounded towards what you would think of as a plotline. But over time, as I was watching it, I stopped worrying about or thinking about Buffy's romantic storylines.
Yeah.
And I was more interested just in her family life, for instance, with Dawn was really interesting to me.
Yeah.
The last 3 seasons of the show are much more worried about Buffy grappling with mortality than they are her relationships.
Yeah.
So-
And I think that the show could have gone in that direction. I didn't mind having Spike there, but I got just a glimpse of the last 2 seasons, and there were preview flashbacks of Buffy and Spike in bed together, and they're like an actual couple, and there's a whole confrontation scene, and Spike is talking to her as if she is his girlfriend, and it just felt very forced and awkward. So
Yeah, it's
he hung on longer, and then I felt like I really was missing Seth Green's character, Oz.
Oz, yeah.
I wanted Oz back at the end. I mean, they brought Faith back. I don't know how that happened, but it would have been nice to have seen Oz too.
No,
just
she
bring
didn't die.
the whole gang back. And
She was in a coma. She came back.
that's good.
But you're right. Why doesn't Oz make an appearance? Why does Spike, which I think would have worked much better as like a shorter arc for like her, you know.
Shows don't do enough justice to bring back the characters that they lose at the beginning, I think. And there should be something to be said for, okay, we're wrapping this one up.
Yeah.
Hey, Seth, why don't you come in for like
Well,
2 episodes?
actually, Cordelia is the only one of the main cast from season 1 who doesn't appear in the last episode. Everyone else does.
Oh.
It's only Cordelia.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's because Joss hated the actress who played Cordelia.
I wonder why he hated her. Maybe
Well,
she rebuffed him.
maybe.
Okay. I was going to say that she deserved it.
No.
Yeah. Because
I
he's
Yeah.
a monster. Yeah.
He's a monster.
I'm assuming
Good
that he
for her
tried
that she
to.
didn't come back.
Yeah. Anyways, these last 3 episodes.
Yes. Would we like me to take the summary for this first episode?
Go for it.
All right. Season 5, episode 21, The Weight of the World. Kind of a part 1 to the season 5 finale. I know we missed in the entirety of season 5, which I would argue is the last good season of Buffy. How lost did you feel going into this episode?
Yeah. This whole installment of Machete Order was,
Yes.
it felt very disconnected for me.
You're thrown in the deep end.
Yeah.
It's very disconnected, but we would have done a disservice not showing you the finale of the last season that was on the original network.
I
And then
like
the finale
knowing-
you had to see the finale
Well,
of the
yeah.
whole show.
I liked knowing that after season 5, they were expecting to just close out the show for good.
Yeah.
And then they ended up tacking on 2 more seasons. And so going into it with that context, I was able to watch season 5.
Yep.
It's almost like you're watching 2 different finales, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of plot lines that I was kind of just like picking up. I was a little surprised that they were all still figuring out Dawn was the key. I thought we had already established that.
No, I think we
Yes.
did.
We did, but I mean, there's obviously the magic going on around Glory where like certain
magic.
things
Yeah.
aren't sticking in people's
And yeah,
brains.
the Ben and Glory, body that is, I don't know, what do you even call this? Like the shared,
Shared
Body?
body.
Ben is a prison that Glory is trapped in.
okay. Yeah. That makes
Makes
slightly
perfect
more
sense.
sense.
I don't know what the problem is. But in this episode, we open on all of Glorificus's goblin servants waiting on her because she has captured Dawn. She has messed up the Scooby Gang real good, and she's preparing for the ceremony that will open up the portal so that she can go back to her hell dimension and rule as a god, which will destroy reality as we know it.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of portals getting opened and then reality ending. This is like the 3rd time we've gone back to that version of the apocalypse.
Essentially, yeah. There has to be a world-ending threat for this kind
And
of thing, you know?
dimensions opening. That's always a big part of it too.
Yeah, but not just the world-ending, reality. And,
Yes.
big stakes. Feels like a finale. We cut back and forth a lot between what Glory's got going on with Dawn and then what the Scooby Gang is doing. A lot of wheel turning as they're trying to figure out how are we going to tackle this threat that is completely insurmountable. Back with the Scoobies, Buffy has gone completely catatonic after Dawn got captured.
Yeah, go comatose for me, baby.
Exactly, because she is having a hard time dealing with everything that, I mean, it seems like she's just overwhelmed with Tara, Glory.
It took
Crazy.
her sanity
Took
or
her
something.
sanity, a really healthy portrayal
Yep.
of mental illness. It is what it is. Different times. Dealing with that, dealing with Giles got stabbed. Dawn got taken by Glory. It feels like I can't beat this person. The only way forward is to kill Dawn, essentially, to stop the ceremony from being able to take place. So she's gone catatonic. Willow's going to have to go into her mind palace to figure out what to do to get her to start reacting to things and start acting normal again.
Which proves difficult and lasts most of the episode.
Yep. So we go into Buffy's mind palace where we see
Baby
Buffy, babies, Buffy.
She's so cute.
It's a cute little kid, little hair. Remembering, just going through a bunch of her, she's reliving a lot of her memories having to do with Dawn.
Fake memories, because Dawn is an entity that was conjured in the middle of Buffy's life and not at the beginning, as
Yep.
she remembers, but still.
It's still real to her, you
Yeah.
know? So it's, very important for her. We go back and forth. I'm going to skip through that whole, because what it turns out is she's remembering the moment essentially that she realized she had made a mistake. She had let Dawn fall into Glory's hands, and now that essentially sealed Dawn's fate. She has like a vision of her smothering Dawn with a pillow because it's the same thing. I killed Dawn. Willow has to help her realize, no, there are things that we can do. You giving up is killing Dawn, but we have to find a way to move forward. You see a vision of the original Slayer, who played into the season 4 finale a lot, but she tells Buffy, death is your gift. Load-bearing line. With Dawn, Ben takes control and helps Dawn escape from Glory. Again, they share a body. It's weird. There's a lot of... What did you think of the green screening with the switching bodies back and forth?
I mean, all the special effects on the show were pretty bad.
Yeah. I think it could look a lot worse for the time.
Yeah.
But doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's slowly better. But yeah, they're going back and forth in their body. They keep morphing from one character to the other character, wearing the same weird outfit.
Yep.
And having a conversation between the two of them. Right. I didn't feel like when I first saw Ben, I thought he was just kind of like a peripheral character. He's almost as important as the G.I. Joe boyfriend that Buffy had for a while there. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess this guy's like hanging around for a while.
Just Guy Whitey does good, he's both honorable and good. So he's like nobody, but turns out, load-bearing character for sure. Yeah, I don't envy the actors having to act towards each other without each other there. It's Ben and Glory yelling at each other. I'm just imagining being in that alleyway, just yelling at nobody and having to, because it's a long scene where Glory's trying to fight with Ben to take Dawn back to do the ceremony.
Yeah, that felt way too dragged out. I had the same thought about it, and like Dawn's just sitting there the entire time as these two characters argue with each other within the same body. I'd say from an acting standpoint, it's actually not that hard to do. A lot of times, you'll have to do off-camera acting, and you will be acting towards nobody. But I thought just as a scene construction, it wasn't very good. There's a lot of explanation of what needs to be happening rather than, show don't tell is a pretty good screenwriting tip to bear in mind. You don't want to have to be explaining all of the action that's going into this, and yet there's these two characters explaining it to each other as one character what needs to happen and what should or shouldn't happen there.
Right. Yeah, but I think we also need to think about in a scene like this, who was watching the show at the time? It's teenagers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are they going to have any media literacy to understand kind of what's going on a lot of the time?
Because you're right. Because what needs to happen with this scene is we need to get Glory convincing Ben to give up Dawn.
Which eventually does happen.
Right.
Because, and to be clear, Ben is just a very good-hearted, normal guy. What's happening is the wall between him and Glory is breaking down. So he's becoming more like Glory. Glory's becoming more like him, just to get us to the point where he can fucking rip her down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally, and then Ben gives up and then takes Dawn back. They're gonna go forward with Willow helps Buffy feel better about that she comes out of it ready for some action.
That's kind of the end of Ben too. Like for the show, like that's a series wrap on Ben. He
essentially
betrays Dawn, forsakes all his values because Glory sort of convinces him,
right?
Like, I'm gonna become immortal if I do this for you. And I don't know. Ben's character felt sort of weak, and yet it needed to be a lot bigger.
Yep. Xander, Spike, and Giles go to Doc, who's going to play into the actual finale. He's just like a demon. They try to get some information from him. He winds up giving up a box, but like fights them. They think they kill him. His eyes open.
This was one of those great scenes too, where the character takes that very valuable thing that can destroy the thing that they care about the most, and they throw it into the fire to destroy it. It's like, why didn't you?
Why did you have that?
Why did you even have it? Exactly. Like, I can only be killed by this one key. And it's like, well, then why do you still have it? You should probably get rid of it.
Right.
Or hide it, not keep it on your person.
So Doc is in an apartment full of books and scrolls and things like that. And in the conversation, just like goes and tries to very unsurreptitiously hide this one box of scrolls. They're like, hey, give us that thing you're obviously trying to keep from us. No, now I'm going to throw it in the fire.
And he has
throw
a
it in the fire
tongue.
yesterday.
Yeah, burn it the day before.
Yeah,
then Spike just takes it out.
Pulls it out of the box. Yeah.
It's fine.
Not a very hot fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Burning things is not always the best. Exploding them, that's how you want to destroy something. You try to burn something,
Get
it takes
some
a while.
grenades in here.
Yeah.
We were talking about grenades last episode.
Did a lot for that den of vampires.
Absolutely. Can I also say Doc's office, like with the fire going, like I want that kind of office. And his demeanor, like it's always open with the door before they come in. Yeah. I was like, this guy seems awesome. Like I'd curl up with a good book in his office with the fire going.
Yeah.
I never my wife's not going to like me saying this, but I don't like the aesthetic of just like a million books unorganized all over the
Have
place.
you seen your house?
I know. It gives me a little bit of a panic attack. It's like, oh, there's not enough time in the world for me to read all of this.
Can you read?
I can count. That's pretty much the end of the episode. Again, this is really just a place setting part 1 for the finale.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
That was fine. I mean, I was getting ready for the second episode. As I'm remembering them now, they feel like one larger episode, which is fine. And then we get into
The Gift. The Gift was supposed to be the series finale, which to me, it feels way more like a series finale than the actual finale, which we'll get to after this
Has a lot more
episode.
gravitas.
I wonder why.
I have the opposite feeling about
Really?
it.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Why?
I thought we'll get to
We'll
it.
get to it in
Okay.
As I love to say on this show, I feel like we'll get to it is the catch line of this show.
Did you know this is episode 100 of the show?
Was it really?
Yes.
Wouldn't
Interesting.
that been a fun little cutoff? Exactly 100 episodes.
Yeah.
No, but I think in this episode, it really wraps things up for me and the characters that we see and their development. And I like that Buffy dies at the end. I like that.
Spoiler.
Well,
This whole show is spoilers. But
And
I'll
we
get
know
into-
everybody watches along with us, so we have to avoid spoilers.
I'll get into why I disagree with
Yeah,
this.
How's it open?
so for the recap of this episode, we start with a kind of like a compilation, like a bunch of clips throughout the entire series. So it starts with Giles and Buffy meeting in the library and being like, "You're the Slayer," and then cuts to a bunch of stuff that's been happening. And I thought that was a way cooler recap than what we get after.
Right.
As a Machete viewer, I didn't know what we had not seen and what had not yet been shown. So to me, it was just a bunch of clips of what I assumed were past episodes.
It's, I believe, a small, like, even if it's just like a frame from every episode leading up to now. And there's like ones that'll stick out, like when you're just watching it and your eyes, gloss over as it's really fast, like the opening of a Marvel movie kind of thing with like
Yeah,
all the flashing images.
But Max,
But
you're
it's like-
saying they were showing some clips of things that actually would not be.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. I should
It was
pay
all
more
past.
attention. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you listen to women, SJ?
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
But after our little clip show,
No.
no
We're done.
soundboard.
No rim job?
Every time there's dead air, SJ goes for the soundboard.
What were we going for that time?
The rim shot.
No, that's... Don't!
My hand is on the
Don't
board.
indulge me.
I have all of
Anyway.
the power right now.
Get back to saying stuff I'm not paying attention to.
I'm listening.
I don't even know what I was saying.
This is why I don't listen.
Okay, we've been talking about it for a few minutes. We are at the opening credits.
We're still at the opening credits. Anyways, we get a little, not flashback, but callback to when Buffy actually slayed vampires.
Yep.
So there's this kid running in an alley away from, this vampire he's about to kill. But Buffy comes out from whatever door she's hiding in. And she's going back to her roots. She was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Pretending to be a
Yeah.
soft little girl who can't defend herself.
Yeah.
It was a classic Buffy slaying scene. Right?
Yeah.
Like a little kung fu.
Yeah.
Does some kung fu kills.
Some witty comebacks.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's
And we
been
haven't
a
gotten
long
that-
time since I met one who didn't know me. It's
Yeah.
how far we've come.
Yeah. We haven't gotten one of those scenes in maybe a couple of seasons.
You've been commenting on remember how Buffy the Vampire
Used
Slayer
to
used to
fight
be about
vampires?
vampires slaying?
Yeah, not anymore.
So I saw that scene and I was like, oh, this is obviously a flashback. And then she walks into the room
Yeah.
where they were all still plotting about how they were going to defeat Glory.
What was that outside?
A little skirmish.
Yeah. And we get a callback to Everything Can Be a Steak, where
Yes.
the vampire, runs into, whatever. A piece of wood flips out, and she uses it to kill him.
Yep.
But Buffy comes back in the room. The gang is researching about the ritual that's going to happen. The ritual of Glory draining Dawn's blood to open the portal. Glory is about to unleash hell on Earth. When Dawn is dead, the gate will be open. Buffy tells Giles...
Actually, the gate will close once Dawn is dead. She needs to be open so that the life
Oh,
force of the
right.
blood can keep the portal open.
Yes.
As long as her blood is flowing, yeah.
So Buffy tells Giles she doesn't want to talk to us right now. There has to be another way to do this. Dawn doesn't have to die. Buffy's like, "You're telling me to kill my sister." And then Giles pulls out, she's not your sister.
Yeah.
Wrong thing to say, John.
Yeah, that felt a little bit. Yeah.
Well, he's being very callous because I think he's grappling with the weight of the circumstances that they're dealing with. It's like, I know that his whole arc in this episode is, I know this sucks, but this is what we have to do for not just us, reality.
Yeah.
And he says later in the episode, no one else is going to tell you this.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you this. Your sisters are going to die. But Buffy in this moment is saying that she is going to sacrifice herself. Everyone else is trying to think of alternatives. So there's kind of no use.
It also comes as almost a foregone conclusion that Dawn is going to be sacrificed, where they could still just rescue her. They hadn't started the ritual yet, but they seem to not think that they'll be able to stop Glory.
That's just it. They're acting it as though it's a foregone conclusion, when it's like, because Glory, and you don't see much of this in the episodes that we watch, but she's a god. They physically cannot overpower her.
They've tried to multiple times.
Yeah, and it keeps not working.
That
almost got them all
play
killed.
as much just watching a couple of the episodes, because there are several times where, she's getting punched, she's getting kicked. Like,
yeah. I feel like it did in the last episodes that we watched, when like the scene in the hospital when they're trying to save Dawn. Yeah. And I felt like, I called this out last time, but it felt like a Darth Vader moment where it's like, we're in the same room with the guy, there's nothing we can do, and he could just kill us if he wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like she was much more sort of beatable. And I know they give Buffy.
You could have taken her?
Oh, easily. I think that there's that scene where they give Buffy the Thor hammer and she starts swinging that thing around. Yeah. I know that they give her a device to be able to fight better against this god, but yeah, Glory never felt that ultra powerful to me.
Okay.
Why do you think that?
I don't know if I saw enough of her, and I saw a lot of her like kung fu fighting with Buffy as if they were sort of equals, and so she was fighting, she was talking about how she was like, oh, I'm feeling these human emotions now, and I'm feeling like I don't want to like kill you, or I'm feeling like emotion, regret, pain. I loved those conversations that Glory was having about what it meant to be a human and how much it sucked. And she has that scene. I'm not sure if it was in this episode or the episode
It's later
before,
in the episode,
with Dawn, and they're contemplating humanity and why you'd want to be a human. She talks about how she's not even an animal. You're a meat sack with consciousness. And Dawn says it's kind of just a matter of perspective. Some people enjoy the experience of being human, while others do want to just drink and smoke and fuck their brains out because they don't want them anymore.
Yeah.
That was really good. That was the stuff.
That happens later in the episode, and we'll get to it.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry. I don't like to go in sequence with these summaries. I like to flow with it. I'm playing jazz over here. Anyway, what happened in the next scene?
Buffy and Giles.
Well, no. So there's a comment that Anya is talking about something that is going on the ritual and their research, and Xander looks at her and was like, wow, smart chicks are so hot. And then Willow is like, you couldn't figure that out in 10th grade? Shut up. We went too long without someone longing for Xander again.
Yeah. It's just Anya comes up with a part of a plan to beat Glory, and that's when he's just like, smart chicks are hot.
He has been an obnoxious character in almost every episode. I've never really felt like there's been a good, meaningful point of Xander's character. It's only been to just try to fill some empty noise with a throwaway comedy line. Yeah. Or they needed
a boy there.
There's literally a scene where they're just sitting around a table until Buffy arrives to give them further plot. That character, I don't know. Talk about characters that lasted too long. He's probably top of the list.
Yep.
He could have stayed in high school when he didn't go to college with them, but alas. So Ben is getting Dawn ready for the ceremony, and she tells him to turn back into Glory because she can't even look at him. She's
good.
disgusted with him.
It's good. It's just like, you're like lying to me about being like a human that I can relate to. It's like, just be Glory already.
So in the next scene, Buffy is punching a punching bag when Giles walks in. And then Buffy is like, I don't know how I'm supposed to live in this world if this is just what's going to keep happening. And she's really dealing with mortality and everyone around her dying. And
that her role being a killer.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful exchange that the two of them have.
She's just like, I wish my mom was here.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And, there was nothing she could have done about Joyce. In the end, there's probably nothing she can do about Dawn, at least what they're thinking. I wouldn't want to live a life like Buffy's.
It's dark.
Yeah.
I think.
We talked about that earlier. Is Buffy happy in her life? while this show's happening.
No.
Easy to say no at this point.
Yeah,
feels
she
pretty-
hates all of it.
Also, she doesn't really want to be alive anyway. She's died once and was in a good place, and they brought her back. And so,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, this kind of is hell. It's just constantly living in this
Yeah.
consciousness
Yep.
that you can't escape from, it seems.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the death is your gift thing has been going through this whole season. And it is like she's Buffy the Slayer, you know? So she's like, I only exist to kill. And that's a lot for a person to bear. And it's like, and it's still not solving my problems,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's very dark and sad at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think that really hits her. You know, throughout the whole series, it's been the same thing of like everyone she loves dies. She has to continue to kill. And, you know, we see that in Buffy in seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I don't think it really hits her until her mom dies.
Right.
And she's like, oh, there's really nothing I could do. And everyone else that I've lost is just because of me, because I am a killer. And, it, you know, kind of goes back to the sentiment at the end where it's like, death is your gift.
Mhm.
People keep dying around you. The best thing you can do is die now.
Well, in these monster movies, there's so much about just surviving. Like that is
Yeah.
the point of the hero is to survive, and the point of the villain is to kill, whether it's a horror, monster, zombie movies. But it's like, well, what are you surviving for? What is the larger point of being in this world?
Yeah.
It's not just to be. It should be more than that. And I don't think any of these types of shows really ever truly answer that question and give you the reason to live other than the challenge of staying alive.
Yeah.
And I don't think Buffy really does that either. I think it just becomes pointless
Right.
Yeah.
for the characters. And it's kind of nice to see that being acknowledged here in the show. And the only other answer that you will get, which is what we're getting in this season's finale, is, you know, the point of life is to sacrifice for another.
In a way, yeah.
Which
That's
yeah.
not great.
Yeah,
I'll
it's not
say
great either.
There's another
Yeah.
kind of take on it where, I mean, I'm big into horror movies. And how many times have you had this conversation with people in horror movies? Like, if I were ever in a situation with like this slasher coming at me, I'm just killing myself. I don't even want to live
Yeah.
at that point, you know? But it's like, that's kind of the remit of she is a horror movie protagonist who has to keep living with all the monsters and everything that she's dealing with. And kind of a little, in addition to what you said, the remit is also you do it for the relationships that you've built, for the friend. Like the reason she's different from the other Slayers is because of her relationships, her friends, and things like that, which is beautiful.
That's actually what Mission Impossible has done with their whole, like, why is Tom Cruise doing these things? It's for his friends.
Yeah.
And they talk a lot about how he will be willing to sacrifice the fate of the world to save Ving Rhames because he's his friend.
Right.
And I also don't know if I agree with that sentiment either. I think Giles is more right about, like, if it's the fate of the world against somebody who you love.
Trolley problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Trolley problem.
Yeah.
Would you really choose all
You're still
of-
going to jail. Just a callback.
What would you choose in the trolley problem? Would you
I would
choose
kill-
your wife or the world?
Ooh,
This one's on air.
You too, SJ.
My wife.
Hannah or the I'm single now. I got nothing.
Yeah, so there's no trolley problem for you.
Nope.
This is literally a story in the Bible, though. Like, this is Old Testament shit, right?
Capitalism is in the Bible, people.
No, the trolley problem, right? Like, God tells Abraham, you have to go and kill your son for me, which is effectively, let's replace God with the rest of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And Abraham does it. Like, he's like, I'm going to do this. I don't know.
Psycho. God's like, what were you doing, psycho?
Whoa!
It's like, hey,
dude.
I didn't actually mean it.
Yeah.
Take a joke.
for me.
Jesus.
Which is not what he says. He's like, okay, now you're better because you were willing to do it. You're more elevated. Yes.
You proved your faith.
Blind commitment to me.
Xander and Anya bang in the basement when they're like getting stuff together for the. Come on. Can we give it to Xander a little bit? I like this scene.
Really?
Yes. I think it's very sweet. Anya's having a meltdown. I've always been the Xander. Even though I'm a
Apologist.
Xander hater, I'm the apologist
There needs
for
to
him.
be
Yeah.
one on the show.
You
That's
people
true.
forcing me into that position, that's my trolley problem. That's what's going to make me throw myself in front of a trolley. But yeah, Anya's having a meltdown because she realizes she's always run away in all the other apocalypses that we've seen. But she's sticking around this time because she loves Xander. And then Xander proposes to her. And
Yes.
it's really sweet, I think. Go
I
on
think it is.
about.
No, I think it is sweet.
But they see the Buffy bot down there, which is going to be load bearing for the finale.
Yeah.
You've used that expression now 3 times in this episode.
You just learned it.
I just read this great Wikipedia.
Very
article.
good.
You guys are really going to love this one.
Thank you for calling that out.
Pepper this in there a few more times. We'll get to it.
Buffy asks Willow.
The load-bearing phrase of this podcast. Go ahead.
Buffy asks Willow if she has any ideas. Willow says she might be able to turn around what happened to Tara. She's been focusing on that more. Tara has still lost her mind. And then, in this like haze of being confused, not really knowing what's going on, she slaps Buffy and it just, sucks the air out of the room.
Willow.
Yeah. Oh, Willow?
Slaps
Yes.
Willow.
Sally. Yes. Why did I lose my... Yes.
I don't know, but I realized we also haven't really talked about how Buffy got out of her comatose state.
We literally did.
We did?
I covered that in my episode.
How did she get out of it?
They worked through the trauma and helped Willow helped her realize that she has to, continue fighting to save Dawn.
Oh, okay. I wasn't listening to you much either.
Yeah, you don't listen to men either. Jesus.
People in general.
We need a non-binary person
women,
on this
theys.
podcast. You only listen to a non-binary person. I can't blame you.
All right. Well,
They're
anyway.
the ones with good things to say.
So the gang brings out the orb and they're like, we might have a plan with this.
Another orb.
The orb.
The orb.
A
The
MacGuffin.
orb.
This is actually specifically a sphere, not an orb.
Sorry.
This is the sphere of Dagon.
Buffy brings Spike back to the house to get some weapons, and Spike has to be invited in. She is telling him that she's counting on him to protect Dawn. And then Spike looks at her and goes, I know you'll never love me. I know that I'm a monster, but you treat me like a man. And that made me roll my eyes.
Yeah.
I figured you guys didn't like that.
Yeah.
I think
How did you feel about it?
I like it on paper. I don't think it necessarily has the weight that it feels like it. It's like a payout on something that's not earned, but I still I like the performances. That's just I think the colors are pretty. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like, it didn't feel earned. Like he's acknowledging something that we've all seen throughout the show.
This is like 5 seasons or 4 seasons of him.
Mhm.
Yeah, he comes at season
4
2.
episodes after he made a sex bot of her, and now he's like, "You make me feel like a man."
It was 4 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he thinks of Buffy as an object that he can turn into a sex bot, and then he's like, "You do make me feel like a man." How fucked up is that, huh?
Yeah.
She invites him in anyway.
Invites
so
him
I
anyways.
hadn't seen that whole sex bot piece, and yet there wasn't enough for me to have seen in their relationship growing to the point where he would say something like this and it would be genuine. So the fact that there was this really sketchy episode at one point where he literally objectifies her, for them to then swing it around and put the pendulum on the other side
To be clear, I don't think the material is there to make this earn.
No, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same
we're
page.
on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, with stuff like that too, I don't feel like you needed to see it. A lot of what happens with Spike in this series is that it's just like ruining every step of the way. It's ruining his character. And I think it's better to just like cut it out.
Yeah, I mean, he was an amazing, scenery chewing comic villain,
Yeah.
He was great for that. It's been a through line of all of the season finales is everybody has to get their emotional payoff. And this is just his little scene.
Yeah.
They did a good job acknowledging that the character was strong enough to be a supporting character, but weak enough that he could not have carried the entire show for its entire series as an antagonist.
Great.
So they put him into a supporting character role. They put that chip in his head, which apparently still is working and is still a device that's
Still
keeping
operational.
him good.
Yeah.
Which also veils over any idea of his humanity or true redemption.
Yeah.
Because he's only this way because he cannot be bad. He cannot act on his instincts. He hasn't overcome them through will or revelation. He's just been given a chip that prevents him from being his true nature. So, I mean, when you really start to break down Spike as a character, it falls apart pretty quickly. Yeah. But James Masters was a good actor. He had funny lines. It was a good character construction.
Yeah, that's just what we're saying. Is that he was a great performance. I don't think.
Yeah, we've gotten to this. I'm barely listening to you guys. This is about me listening to my own stuff.
This is SJ's podcast.
Yeah. I'm plus doing you, man.
Dawn is tied to the tower at this point. The gang has to go find her.
Yeah, somehow in Sunnydale there is a NASA rocket launching tower.
Oh, you can.
It's just a construction site for some reason.
No, it's all of the people, all of Glory's victims. I know you didn't get to see this in this episode. All of Glory's victims, the ones that she's made I'm going to use this term, crazy. We're probably going to have to use that a couple times in this episode. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I
was wondering what all those people were doing there, so thank you.
They're all of Glory's victims. When she does her Glory thing, turns them crazy. She like snapped her fingers or whatever, and they all constructed this entire huge tower for the ceremony.
So there's now a collective consciousness between all
Tara
of them.
this entire time in her like crazy ramblings is saying like, there's somewhere I have to be. You're stopping me from going.
Okay.
So she ends up leading them to this tower when they let her go.
Missed that part. All right.
That's what was going on.
They found where it is. Glory finds Tara, and Willow sneaks up on her and does a reversing kind of spell and snaps Tara out of it.
Does some damage to Glory.
Does some damage to Glory. While on the way to, of note, Buffy finds this like giant hammer in the magic shop, and she's kind of just wheeling that thing around.
That was from an episode that we didn't watch. Season 5, episode 11, where they're a troll king. We don't need to.
But there's like a hammer of Thor that now is
Yeah.
Buffy's weapon against Glory.
Yeah.
Right.
Buffy also shows up, and they begin to fight. But she's holding the orb or like the sphere. Glory is
We don't know that though. They're fighting, and Glory's like off her game.
Yes. She didn't pull it out yet.
Yeah.
But so then she ends up pulling it out and throws it at her. And they fight. Everyone in the gang starts fighting. But Tara comes back because the spell has worked. And she was like, I got so lost. And Willow was like, I'll always find you. And it was so little tear.
Okay. Every episode has a segment of what did little baby Josh cry at this episode?
Cried at the
This was
lesbians.
That and so twice in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm such a baby for this show, man. It's like a bullet right to my heart. But yeah, Allison Hannigan once again, heavy hitter for this show.
So sweet.
It's so sweet. I will always find you. You know.
Yeah. It's a nice sentiment about your partner.
Yep.
Find them.
But Glory has turned out to be fighting the Buffy bot, where they're using it as a ploy to kind of distract her.
Distract her from what? Did I miss what Buffy was doing while the Buffy bot was fighting?
Yeah, it was just, they were just trying to kill time because there was a window in which the ceremony had to take place.
Yeah.
And if they can distract Glory so that she can't do that.
I get that, but like they have the Buffy bot. You don't, as the audience, think it's the Buffy bot. You think that Glory's really fighting Buffy.
Right.
The Buffy bot's doing a very good impression of her because this robot is actually beating Glory.
Yep.
It's the robot that throws her the orb or the sphere of whatever, right?
I'm sorry that it's an orb. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever. But like, okay, so then all of a sudden, Glory kicks off the robot's head and is like, everybody, did you guys know that Buffy was a robot? And then Buffy, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, now we smash cut to whatever Buffy's doing, which logic would have been go get your sister who's up at top of the tower, but she's not. She shows up to give yet another snarky line about how Glory's not that smart.
Right.
I think the point was to just exhaust her a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You just
But
don't
if you're
like
going to have a
pacing of
decoy,
it.
generally it's because there's a larger, more important
So
thing to do.
all of the henchmen, all of the crazy people are blocking the way up to the tower. So it's like it was supposed to be the rest of the gang goes up there and secures while Buffy and Buffybot distract Glory to stop her from doing the ceremony. That was the plan.
Bad plan.
All right. Well,
This is where
again,
I put this on Giles, by the way.
We've established SJ could have just kicked Glory's ass. So that's what he would have
I
done.
could have as a
SJ
watcher.
couldn't pick up the hammer.
I couldn't. No, obviously, this is a show about how women are supposed to be the heroes, and the men are sort of like advising Giles, right? I'd like to be Daddy Giles, and I would have had a better plan.
You'd like
Just saying
Sarah
that.
Michelle Gellar to call you daddy.
It's Geller. It's Geller.
Please refer to Tag Sailor at the episode from Venture Brothers where he clearly says, Nudie Mags, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
You've been doing this entire season. SJ, I don't know if you know. Actually, should we save it for the wrap-up episode?
I guess, yeah, please, because I have no idea what any of that was. I'm just saying I could have done a better job planning out a battle if I had two Buffys to work with, okay? Yeah. And Giles is cool. I think Giles is like by far the best male character of the show.
For sure.
Yeah.
Out of the...
No, wait. Xander. Xander.
Anyway, all right. So
yeah, but she
people are fighting.
Yep,
people
big
are
fight.
fighting, and while this is happening, Buffy is still hearing Dawn scream up from the top of the tower, and I think you are right here. She could have just been going up there, but her and Glory are fighting on the way up. They both fall off the tower, and they're somehow fine.
Yep.
There's superpowers.
There's a few moments of that. People falling off the tower, and it's just like,
Yeah,
oh.
it's just like onto concrete.
But Willow clears the way so that Spike can actually get to the top of the tower because guess who's up there with Dawn? Doc's back, baby.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
to see a trick?
Him pulling the knife out and then really creeped me out.
Really creepy guy.
Yeah, really creepy
Extremely
guy.
creepy
He's
performance.
a good villain. He had the look for it, and
Yeah.
felt like he wasn't getting enough time to shine as a creepy villain.
Yeah.
And that's not just in our viewing. I think he had one other episode in this season where he's like a minor character. He comes out of nowhere for this, but I think great performance, really creepy villain.
Spike makes it up to the top of the tower, and then Doc just kind of stabs him and throws him off. And again, he smashes down to the concrete, which makes sense for Spike because he's not
a vampire.
He's a vampire, so he's like fine. But then cut to Buffy just like wailing on Glory with the hammer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that was getting to the point where it was like Game of Thrones, excessive wailing with a object, and
You were expecting to cut back to Glory, and her head is just
she
a
should have
puddle.
been a pulp. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's clear. But this was the 90s or the early 2000s, and so we were still at the point where you just show a little bit of blood on the nose, and a little bit off the mouth, and then, I mean, Giles, he comes in.
Glory transforms back into Ben.
Yes, Glory transformed back into Ben.
And is at this point like debilitated. Also, to my point of this god not really being that powerful, Immortal literally beats her to the point where she is incapacitated.
She's not immortal. She's the
no,
Slayer.
Buffy. Well, okay, fine.
She's
but
a
still,
Slayer, and she has
this
super
is-
strength.
And
she's
Glory is not a god yet because she's held back by this dimension and her prison of the body.
Okay.
So she's super
beating
strong.
Ben. Yeah.
There was a whole buildup of like the brain switching, cut a piece of her out, the Dagon sphere. They're forgetting about the
Obviously.
Dagon sphere.
Yeah.
But she transforms back to Ben, right?
Transferred back to Ben, but Buffy can't kill him, but like still beats him to a pulp and just kind of leaves him. But then Giles comes up.
Right. She chooses not to because they talked about this. He's just a mortal man. She doesn't want to.
Yeah. But then
So
Giles
Giles.
does what he's like, she couldn't take a human life. She's a hero, you see, and just like plugs his nose.
Yeah.
Right. Which we saw the mayor do to Buffy way back when in season 3. But this is like an absolute. We talked about where in the one episode with Oz having the werewolf fight and like the dust coming in. This was a formative childhood memory for me. Giles plugging up the Ben's nose and mouth and
It's
suffocating
one of the
him.
more hardcore ways of killing somebody.
Yeah.
And
Suffocating
he's
them like
ice
that.
cold.
Yeah.
This is Ripper.
Yeah, that was Ripper. I
was
would have
awesome.
liked more Ripper.
Yeah.
I am going to say
Oh
that.
my God. Go
As
watch Band Candy. then.
Preview for. Don't even get me started.
Make a list of all the characters you would like to see more of, and then we'll
Didn't
tell
I
you.
say the drinking game for this episode or for the whole season has been SJ saying, would have liked to see a little bit more of him. Machete order.
We have 30.
So anyway,
Anyways,
Giles just completely narcs on, or
Yeah.
not narcs, but just
Ices him.
greases,
Yeah.
ices,
how many more
Wax.
wax.
wax?
There's a
Just like
certain
last season.
expression though for when you hold the person and suffocate them. It's
Don't do
Is
that
it?
so
Okay.
close to me.
Yeah,
show you.
that
Let me
felt
show you.
threatening.
she gone. Glory's dead.
Glory's dead.
Glory's dead, but
Not before Doc slits open Dawn's.
Doc is slitting open Dawn to
tiny
kind
little
of bleed
cuts,
out.
shallow cuts.
It's so
That
gross.
was creepy.
So he is unleashing hell. The portal opens. I think their effects weren't that bad here.
You're crazy
It's better.
for
It's
that.
better
I agree with
than
you.
the
I agree
other
with you.
seasons.
I noticed
You're a
that too.
fucking
Yeah.
psycho.
No, they weren't.
The-
Go back and watch season 1 or even season what?
1?
Season 4 when the principal becomes or the mayor becomes that
Season
like
3. You guys dogged on that. I thought you
yeah,
thought that
those
seemed like a big
effects were
deal.
terrible. These
Yeah,
effects were a
these
lot
got better.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're saying it got better.
I thought.
Not that it's
You know
good.
what?
Who's not listening now?
I think here's
Listen
what,
to women.
here's what happened in
and
that
SJ.
exchange. I was so ready for you guys to say that the hell being released didn't seem like a big enough deal. You didn't say anything close to that, did you?
Do you listen to
Again,
me?
guys,
I did.
an important part about a podcast going well is that we need to listen to each other.
My headphones must be.
Stop it.
We already
No.
fixed that problem.
The effects still weren't great, but they were a lot better than they've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dawn's blood starts to drip down the grate into whatever is, I guess, the magic spot
Right.
that opens up the portal, and then all sorts of demons start to crawl out of it. And they appear
Hell
everywhere.
is breaking loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All hell
Yeah.
breaks loose.
A dragon.
Literally. That dragon was cool.
Yeah.
And looked pretty good.
The building getting turned into like a matrix pit with like all the bodies.
Buffy
and
disposes of the Doc also
Right.
almost immediately. He makes a very half-hearted lunge at her, and she just kind of like brushes him off.
Yeah,
So-
Buffy
Doc.
gets to the top of the tower, and then Doc doesn't even say anything. She's just like, get out of here.
yeah.
shoves him off the tower. Bye, Doc.
and then is untying Dawn. But Dawn has gotten to the point where she's just like, just sacrifice me. Like, I'm just throw me in. The portal needs to close. Hell shouldn't be breaking loose right now. Just sacrifice me. But then Buffy remembers death is your gift, and she kind of makes peace with sacrificing
Dawn's blood,
herself.
and Dawn's blood is Buffy's blood.
Yes.
And they had created Dawn out of parts of Buffy, and she realizes it's not necessarily just Dawn who has to die for the portal to be closed. Buffy can make the ultimate sacrifice, and she does so.
She does. So
she throws herself off of the barrier. And everybody else has survived the crash, but Buffy goes into the portal, so she ain't surviving that.
Before she died, they find her body, and Dawn remembers Buffy saying to her before she leaps, Dawn, the hardest thing you have to do in this world is live in it, be brave, and live for me. Then cuts to Buffy's gravestone, where it says, she saved the world a lot.
Buffy Ann Summers,
Yeah.
beloved sister, devoted friend, she saved the world. A lot.
A lot.
And then that gets me too. Her speech to Dawn before jumping in is just really, really sweet. And this is a really heavy, affecting series finale. How I felt about it, especially at the time.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It closes out on Buffy's tombstone. That's the last shot
Cut
they
the credits.
wanted. I thought it was I was like, whoa, that's like very final. And in the end, she dies. I like the endings where you see that, but then you see like the falling resolution of like Dawn is now in college herself and is living her life. And is like having those moments a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
It felt like they were like, okay, it's been 40 minutes. We have to end
My understanding
now.
is that, and I know we've said a couple times that this was intended to be the series finale. That's not the case. Somewhere in production, they realized that they were going to be continuing the show, so they didn't do the full like everyone's wrapped up stories and everything.
Okay, if that's the case, then I think this is even more problematic because now you have to raise Buffy yet again.
Then forget I said it.
Like she's already died and been brought back once. I had this thought. I was like, wow.
No, she gets brought back in season 6.
But she died and got brought back in season 4 or something too. In season 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was in heaven and then they pulled her back out of
No,
that.
this is when she goes to heaven.
Yeah.
At the end of season 1, she dies and comes back.
Okay, and then she dies here at the end of season 5.
She dies for real here.
And, But she comes back again.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this girl's like continually going in and out of death.
Yeah, it sucks. She
Well,
hates it.
To be fair, she only died for not that long in season 1.
They call this the second time that she's died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good episode. I felt like they talked about some good things. I like going back to that conversation that Glory has with Dawn about humanity and being human and all of that. I thought that was a good way of framing existence, right? Like it can be shitty and you can numb yourself as much as you want because you don't like this existence, but there's beauty here. And I don't think they really showed the beauty piece of it. That would have been the payoff that I was looking for after they show the grave of Buffy would have been how Dawn and the other characters are finding joy in life and what its true meaning is, whatever that might be, which you could have examined. They don't really do that. Like Dawn mentions that some people do find humanity and existence to be enjoyable, but they never get to the how.
Right. I'd argue that this whole show is about like from Buffy's perspective, and it's, I think, an interesting artistic choice to like, she's dead, her perspective's over. We don't get to know what happened with the world that she, sacrificed her.
But the whole thing that we've been talking about throughout Machete Order has been that Buffy's existence kind of sucks, that she doesn't seem to enjoy her life, that she would literally rather be dead than alive. And yet she's continually doing this job of killing vampires, but we don't really know why. There's not a whole lot of why there. And if there's one uber critique I would have for the show, it's that they don't really give Buffy a reason to live other than this is your mission as the Slayer.
Okay.
Well, since the beginning, she didn't choose to be the Slayer. She doesn't really know why she's doing it either, but she's doing it for her friends and for
her family,
betterment of humanity. And that's been a theme for the entire series.
Yeah,
so
I've gotten that.
Yeah.
I would argue
it's
it's not. That's not, I think, addressed directly enough. I think that you're,
it's your
pulling
opinion.
a lot. Yeah, that's my opinion. It's also the right opinion.
Yeah, my objectively true opinion.
That brings us through all of season 6. Where
Goodbye season 6.
and
Goodbye, season 6.
all of season 7.
Goodbye, season 7.
And we get to the finale, the actual finale of the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Season 7, episode 22, Chosen. Yeah. Lot has happened. So I don't really know how Buffy came back, but she does somehow and seems to be just living the same kind of life that she's lived the entire time, except that now Spike and Buffy are together. They're like in bed together. There's like a couple. That's what I'm getting from the preview recaps. We open up with Buffy fighting a priest played by Nathan Fillion, who we've probably all known now from several other things like Slither or The Rookie is something that he's very popular now.
Castle.
Yes, he's Castle.
Dr. Horrible, Firefly, great actor. Love this guy.
In a ton of stuff, a lot of campy kind of Joss Whedon stuff.
Yep.
I guess this is where he kind of got to start with Joss. So, he's fighting Buffy. This guy's name is Caleb. And Angel shows up. Nice to see Angel.
Yep.
And doesn't really do much to help Buffy here.
It's just a crossover.
Yeah.
He's got to show up in the finale.
He just shows up. Buffy ends up killing Caleb with an axe, kind of a badass looking axe.
That's called the Scythe. I hate that.
The Scythe.
It's clearly an axe.
Yeah. And then we've also got Spike, who's like watching from like, I don't know, a viewing station somehow. And there's another Buffy who's talking to Spike.
It's a vision.
Yeah. I didn't realize that this was a vision. He kind of talks about it a little bit at the end there. But he's very jealous because now, Buffy's his girl now and Angel's back. And clearly Buffy is like super into it. And she's, what is she saying? She's like, I just want to not dwell.
Bask in it.
I want to bask. All right, I've basked.
If you
what
had
are you
to
doing
choose between Spike and Angel, who'd you choose?
Like which hole are each of them getting?
Yeah. I was thinking
would
more
I
of an
rather-
Edward or Jacob situation.
Oh, like which hole is Edward getting?
Yeah.
Which hole is Jacob getting?
I like Spike. I think I'm Team Spike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also usually go with the alternative.
I think Spike is cuter, but he's also not for me.
Buffy and Angel's relationship in the beginning of the show, not at this point. Now it's really perfunctory, I guess. But it was like really important for me. I love their chemistry much more than I like Buffy and Spike's chemistry.
I pick Drew?
No.
Buffy and Drew?
Buffy and Drew?
Yeah.
Impossible to
Honestly?
choose.
No, together.
Together.
Oh, yeah. Where's that spinoff? So Buffy, Angel wants to come back and help Buffy in this final battle. I wasn't quite clear on what the terms of the final battle were going to be. Angel wants to come back and be with Buffy as a partner. And then Buffy starts to make this cookie analogy, which was like, she's like half-baked. She's not ready yet, which I personally could relate to. I was like, yeah, you know what? You got to be in a relationship when you're ready to be in a relationship. Right. And Buffy acknowledges that she's not ready. And so Angel's going to have to go on fight on a different front. She's sending him off to the Pacific Theater. And and on the way out, Angel gives Buffy an amulet, some sort of necklace, very shiny, a lot of bling kind of necklace. And he says this needs to be worn by a champion. No further instructions are given. Buffy goes back and she goes to her house where Dawn, who has now become Michelle Trachtenberg. Now I see it.
Yeah.
Well, she's grown up a lot in these 2 years.
No, it's because Tara's not in the picture anymore.
Well,
so
there's
you can't
also
You're
mix
like,
the
oh,
two.
she looks.
She is a human now.
Oh, it is Michelle Trachtenberg.
No, I will say during the scene when they all are in like the dining room talking, or like Buffy walks in, they're all like adults now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They look they've grown up, and so now all Buffy's friends and family will be helping her in this quest. She doesn't have to do it alone.
It was cute. She tried to send. I love you explaining this because I'm just hearing all the times where I would have stopped and explained way too much. It doesn't matter. But just before this episode, Buffy tried to send Dawn away, and she made her way back. So as soon as Buffy
I
walks
hadn't
in,
seen that.
I
so
know.
I have no
I'm just saying.
context.
I'm just setting up. It was very cute that Dawn just
now you're getting them confused.
Yeah, you got me now. Dawn just kicks Buffy in the shins real quick, just like, what are you doing trying to send me away?
Yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah.
She's great. I love her performance so much.
And she figured out her eyebrows in this episode, which I felt was important for Michelle Trachtenberg.
So really tied the whole thing together.
So Buffy then goes back to her crash pad with Spike. They have a couples argument about Angel showing up. Spike calls him tall, dark, and forehead, which was a great line.
And she clearly made out with Angel when she saw him. Seeing your girl make out with her ex.
Yeah, she kind of brushed it off. It was like saying hello.
She brushed it off, and Spike was just like, okay.
Kind of went with
sad.
it. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think Spike knew, the score the whole time. He knew he was always going to be carrying a second candle. That Buffy's main man was Angel.
Her torch.
She says there's nothing going on. She's with Spike now, even if she doesn't really want to be. She gives Spike the amulet. She says it needs to be worn by the champion. And he's like, well, I've never been called that before, which was nice. Yeah. So she's putting a little bit of trust into him. They're finally starting to have a mutual relationship. Buffy declares that she knows she's going to win in this whole thing. And then she gets a pep rally going with a bunch of other girls.
Yep.
I couldn't tell if these were all former Slayers, but they're not. They're just women from the high school.
They're
they're from all over the place, but they're all
Okay.
potential slayers.
Potential slayers.
Because you remember how there's all these women who are potential slayers that get like one at a time gets called to be the slayer.
Yeah. So these are all the Waiting in the Wings girls.
Yes.
And Faith is there. That was fun.
Yeah.
She's back. Eliza.
Faith is the one that's training them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Essentially
Faith,
training an army for what they're.
don't know how Faith got back, but she's here.
She's back.
All right, cool.
Faith's back, baby.
Very
Everything's
handsome
5x5.
black man that apparently they are romantically involved, Faith and this guy. I couldn't tell if he is a principal. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I kind of got the impression that he was working for the school.
Yep.
They talk a little bit about relationships. Faith's giving her whole like, I just like chew up men and spit them out. And then this guy is like, well, honestly, it wasn't that great for me. And Faith is like very offended by that.
Do you also think he was going to come out?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. When he was like, yeah, you're not really doing it for me.
I thought he was going to say, you're not really my type.
I thought that it was going to go there too.
Yeah.
Everyone in this show should just be gay.
If this.
Well, you know what? It's a very pansexual type of show, and
Yep.
they could have gone
true.
a little bit more onto the spectrum of things, but it was still the early 2000s. We weren't quite that edgy on television. Certainly not on UPN 38 or whatever this was airing on at the time.
UPN, yeah.
I did have a slight problem with the fact that like Eliza Dushku is talking with more jive language than this
Yes.
black man. It was uncomfortable.
She's code switching.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means, but it sounds right.
Me neither, but I love the way it sounds coming out of my mouth.
It was fine. Like, okay, cool. You guys had a past. You might have a future. You guys are fighting for this big battle. Again, still not sure quite what the parameters of the battle were. It's kind of a MacGuffin. Don't really need to know. Xander has an eye patch. Don't know how that happened. Guess that's not important either.
Okay.
Willow has a new girlfriend. That was also kind of interesting. I was like, well, okay, so these are the new terms. We still have Xander's old girlfriend, Anya.
Yes.
She somehow is stuck around. I guess her contracts were less than.
They are not married.
Oh,
Very
they're
specifically.
not married.
Xander left her at the altar.
Yes.
Oh.
And
But
then
they're still
they hung
together.
out.
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah.
They broke up.
It just becomes very interesting, like, who could they sign it for, like, an additional season, and who was like, you know what, I need more money, or I've got another project that I'm going on. And then the characters, like, Seth Green obviously left the show to, like, go do movies, and it was in, like, he was in, like, Road Trip. He was in Austin Powers. He had a legitimate career, whereas, like, Tara, never saw her again, thought she was Michelle Trachtenberg. The gang goes to the high school where the big battle is going to take place, because obviously it's going to all take place at the high school.
Yep.
Buffy gives a girl power talk, and then Willow at the same time casts a spell to give all the girls confidence and to make them all into slayers themselves, right? And so they're staring over the cliff of hell, I guess, which has now opened up. And this is where it actually started to feel to me like a true series finale, because you saw like the hordes of all the
A very
vampires.
Lord of the Rings
Yes,
army.
it was very Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Lord of the Rings had already come out
Right.
at
in
this
2003.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
They're in the Hellmouth.
Yeah, they're in
Hell's
the
Mouth.
Hellmouth. So the stakes felt high as opposed to the finale of season 5, where there was a portal opening up in reality as we know it, we're going to fall apart. And we were staring outside of like this, like, compound of a tower. This was like in the actual eye of the storm. So I felt like, okay, yeah, no, this feels like the series finale, which they had to have done, right? Because they've already done the portal thing opening up a couple of times
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
You have to like literally raise the stakes. I almost could imagine like if UPN 38 was like, hey, we're going to extend this for 2 more seasons. Josh was like, okay, fine, but I want like $20 million to do the finale.
Yeah,
Like, if we're
okay.
going to
Yeah.
do this, I have to do it bigger.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was bigger.
Felicia Day is also part of the Slayer Army.
Who?
Felicia Day.
She's one of the Slayers. Do you know Felicia Day? All right.
Who is she?
Another one of the like Nathan Fillion, Joss Whedon crew.
And
She was in
what else is she
She's
famous
in
for?
Dr. Horrible.
Horrible's.
Oh, okay.
God, what's the video game show that really like put her on the
Fallout?
map? No, this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
It
There's
doesn't
been
matter.
a lot of those.
The Guild,
shows.
I think, is what it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
She's great.
But yeah, no, I mean, I liked the speech, and that was the other thing that I liked about this series finale more than the season 5 finale. So in season 5 finale, it's like Buffy's dead, the storyline is over. But in this finale, Buffy is now like chosen, right? Like it was now she is endowing this power and this ability and this responsibility to all of the women,
Right.
all over the world,
All
and
over
it
the
was
world. She's
not even at
affected
these
the
battles.
world.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. Like I thought, okay, now I'm getting this carry on. I don't like stories where it's like, that's it. There's no more story to tell here. I like stories where you are left to wonder, like, what's going to happen now with the rest of these girls, and what's going to happen now in the world after this. And I thought that this episode did a better job of doing that than in season 5.
Yeah. Well, I think if they knew for sure in season 5 that they were not going to come back for that 6th season because I think it was up in the air. I don't think it would have closed exactly on Buffy's grave so much as like, the other characters existing in the world. I think my problem with this series finale, as opposed to the season 5 one, is that I didn't feel like a lot of the character development paid off
in this series finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an element of a show living past, the sell-by date, essentially. I hate to say this as a Buffy fan and 2 other Buffy fans, but yeah, season 6 and 7 feel like you're selling.
What character payoffs were you looking for that you didn't think you got in this episode? Because I felt so disconnected that I wasn't even really there for any of the real payoffs.
Well, in the final scene, they're kind of just like, what now?
Right.
Well,
because it's like, let's give an example. It's like Giles and Buffy, like a closure to their relationship. They've already done that like 4 times at this point,
Yeah.
It's like Xander and just Xander in general. It's like, we've already done him like having his big emotional breaks. It's like, there's just not much left for the show to do at this point.
I think for Xander getting engaged, that was a big character development. I would have been okay being like, oh, they're engaged now. Yay, that's fun. Willow bringing Tara back and being like, I will always find you. That's a sweet note to end on.
The fact that she's not in this episode at all was, I thought, like,
Tara?
Do you want to know why?
Did they kill her off?
Yeah, she died.
Okay.
In a really dark, senseless
fucked up way.
I don't feel like we needed to see it.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
I have thoughts on that, obviously.
It's part of season 6. I don't think it's handled well, and it's not. Yeah, that's one of the things. With Machete Order, we want you to see all of the like culturally relevant moments in the show so you can have conversations with other Buffy fans. Tara dying is probably part of that part of like the conversations, but it's we'll talk about it in the wrap up we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
how we could have possibly fit that in would have been tough.
I think you're right though, Maxine. Like sorry, I cut you off there.
Oh no, I was going to say another example of Giles and Buffy, or Giles being like, my work with her is done now, and he doesn't come back in this. He kind of feels like in this finale he doesn't really have a place either, but he had a place and fulfilled his duty as the Watcher in this series 5 finale. So
the only thing I was going to add to that was that the only piece that I felt was a good elevation and payoff for the character was Buffy giving the speech to the other women.
Yes,
that felt like it needed to be done,
right?
And it hadn't been done as far as I had seen at any other point in the show. And now she finally was creating more Slayers, and they could all be Slayers. I particularly liked the part about how there had only been one Slayer chosen because that was the rule of men. And we don't have to be listening to men all the time. I always am a sucker for acknowledging how stupid we are and how dumb it was to give us the narrative of the world leadership.
I'm with you. You need multiple perspectives. But you're right that it's like so much of the show has been about her wanting to I want to be able to choose my own path in life, but it's never been allowed to her. This is the series finale that finally gives her, she has the power to change, gives her the agency in her life.
And she could take some control.
Exactly.
So there's a fight. A lot of people are fighting. At some point, Spike turns into a heat lamp. He puts the amulet on and starts to glow.
Explodes it.
He blows up all of these vampires. It's clear that the band of women are not going to be able to beat the endless hordes of vampires. And so in a ironic contradiction to the idea that women can fulfill their own destiny and they don't have to listen to the rule of men, it is yet again another man who has to destroy this evil. So Spike blows himself up while all the other characters run out of this Hellmouth cavern that they're in.
Yeah, that was a problem for me too. Like, why does Spike have to save the day?
Right.
Because you can kill off Spike and people don't care as much.
Yeah.
But I agree. This is one of those things where you have this show about women being the hero and women being able to defend themselves, and yet when the stakes are highest, they seem to have to throw a man in there as a supporting character too, which is just plain bad storytelling, not even sexist. It's just bad storytelling to then somehow solve this problem. Spike's essentially a nuclear bomb, but again, the fact that it's a man, that it was an amulet given to him by another man, it was all just kind of clunky and weird,
right?
Which the show does a lot. And Buffy becomes Spider-Man for a second because this explosion creates a sinkhole the size of Sunnydale. So Buffy is running on the roof, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. Eventually, she jumps on the school bus, which all the characters have piled onto. And then, again, like Spider-Man is like clinging on to the roof of this. I hope they evacuate the rest of Sunnydale because the entire city just goes into a sinkhole. The bus is the only thing that ends up making it out onto this like desert plain. They turn back. There is no more Sunnydale. This show cannot possibly go on now because they have destroyed everything.
Yeah, that's really like scorched earth. There is no more Buffy.
Yeah, it's over. It's really, really over.
This time it's really over,
What is
okay?
Giles? I hear there's a Hellmouth opening up in Chicago. And they're just like, shut up.
We're done. And scene. And that's the end of the show.
Yep.
It was good.
Good show?
It was good.
It was good. Yeah. I felt like these last 3 episodes, I didn't really need to see them.
Oh, okay.
Like it was good to see 2 different takes on a finale. I liked the idea of there being this continuity of like other Slayers, but then that empowerment was very quickly negated by the fact that there are no more vampires. Like that's what we're led to believe. Like the Hellmouth has been closed.
Right.
There will be no more evil to fight. So we have a bus full of Slayers that now don't really have a mission. It was fine. But I think like the high points to me of the show, like most television shows, do not come at the finale.
Right.
I would say The Sopranos was different than that. I do think like The Sopranos finale and that ending.
Yeah, because it was so controversial.
It was so controversial, and the show was moving in such a way that you didn't feel like it was getting resolved, that nothing was resolved. That to me was a much, much stronger ending, and that's why we started.
Yeah, because it's 2 completely different TV shows.
Types
SJ.
of shows. Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
Look, you can do a finale of a show that makes it feel like the stakes are the highest and that the most meaningful part of the show is the finale. There's not a right way or a wrong way with this. I think for me...
Do you hate the show?
No.
This
We've
show?
established
This show?
that.
Order?
I don't hate it, but I was going to say, I think to me, like the climax of this show was probably when Buffy killed Angel to close that portal the first time.
Why do you think we showed you so much of like 1, 2,
Season
and
This
3?
is why I like
Yeah.
Machete Order.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I, had kind of played around with the idea of making those episodes, which I think, and I made a comment about this, that all of the stuff that we showed in 1, 2, and 3 was really the stuff that I decided had to be shown.
Yes.
Because you had a lot more from like Willow and Tara that you wanted
Yeah.
to include because that's more important to you, Max for the people who don't see who I'm pointing at. But what would you have thought if we had had these kind of episodes in the middle and had to have broken up the like actual full like consistent concise story that we wanted to show?
That's something we can talk about next episode,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yep.
Because you could have
Yeah.
taken this, if you really wanted to build out the Angel and Buffy storyline.
Sprinkle it in.
There's so much almost repetition. Buffy's constantly saving the world so many times. The stakes are always the highest.
Okay.
That
But
you
I think with
might
something
have
like
been
that,
able
we
to
just
do it.
changed the whole narrative of the show.
Right.
She grows up eventually and loses Angel. Like that's the kind of the TV show.
Tune in next time.
Yeah.
I think
Tune
we're going
in
to have
next
some
time.
great conversations
We're gonna be
about.
debating.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a really interesting discussion.
I'm looking forward to it. I think now that I've seen the show, Machete style,
Yeah.
we can have more of the conversation
sure.
among peers of, okay, well, what would we have done here? What would we have done? There's a lot of things I wish I saw more of, like Tara and Willow's characters and their relationship, I think would have been interesting to see more of. And yeah, I mean, as far as there's like a denouement that happened in Machete Order here where it felt like, okay, we've seen all the canon episodes you need to see. And now here's a couple other episodes that like...
It's almost like the run of Buffy, where it kind of feels like they said everything they needed to say and then kept making episodes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And very
We'll
interesting.
talk
We'll talk about it next
this
time. Tune
next
in.
week. And you can also tell us your thoughts on our episodes.
That's
and
right,
maybe
listeners.
just tell us how much you love me and Josh exclusively.
Yes.
Or maybe just me.
Please call in. And that number one more time is 617-982-3098.
Awesome.
Good.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
You guys don't have to feel like you have to say anything nice about me. It's fine. I thought the show
I'm
was
sorry,
fine.
we're bullying you a lot.
Yeah. This
They
whole
hate
Sunday
SJ.
school bullying has had a reverberation effect on
Yeah.
poor old me.
How's it feel?
It doesn't feel great. Luckily,
We love you,
this is the
SJ.
second to last episode. So
We love you, SJ.
I love you guys too. This was awesome. I'm glad I got to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you have cured me of my fear of the Buffy franchise. I no longer am afraid of it as I was when I was in second grade.
There you go.
I will say, I have a much stronger appreciation for the horror genre than I ever had before. Legit, like, it would scare me. This type of stuff would, like, just make me feel too unsettled. And I got to see a deeper side of it all.
I'm sorry I put you through that, but you're
No, it's
stronger
okay.
for it.
It's okay. I am.
We're all, with the power of friendship, we're all stronger for it.
Yeah. And
just like for Buffy.
One more time, thank you both so much for letting me be a guest host on this season. It has been such an incredible experience. I love you both so much. I love this show, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah?
The finale.
All right, let's do it.
The finale.
See you next week, guys. Thanks for listening to another episode of Machete Order. Join us on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, X.
We're not on there. And listen wherever you get your podcasts. And thanks to Brother Sal for the use of his song, I Will Tell. This was a Rotary Studios production.